Good morning to all. I welcome you all to this digital transformation webinar titled The Clock is Ticking VAT Webinar Your Way, that will be hosted by Car Technologies LLC, a premium SAP partner in the Gulf Cooperation Council. Attendees, let us wait for 2 more minutes for the others to join in. We start. So, once again, good morning to one and all. I cordially welcome you all to this digital transformation webinar titled The Clock is Ticking VAT Webinar Your Way, that will be hosted by Car Technologies LLC Oman, a premium SAP partner. And today, Oman is ready to implement value-added tax from the 1st of April 2021. Hence, enterprises have to prepare themselves for the new regulations and take the necessary steps, right from setting up their systems, organizations, reporting, etc., and also for businesses to be ready and fully compliant to embrace this change. So we at Car Technologies have a panel of dedicated VAT experts, and today we have gathered here to present this webinar for you, which will cover a plethora of information that will be most relevant for your business today. Introducing the speakers of the webinar, I have Mr. Mahesh Khanna, who is the country head of Oman and UAE at Car Technologies LLC. He has an overall IT consulting experience of 15 plus years and an SAP experience of over 10 plus years, donning various roles across his illustrious journey, right from being an SAP SD consultant, handling project management, heading the delivery for many of the ECC S4 HANA Cloud implementations globally, and currently heading the profit and loss for 2 regions. Mahesh has also been driving continuous profitability for the company and is also taking our firm to newer heights in the SAP ecosystems. I have the second speaker, Mr. Dhanashekaran, who's our SAP finance expert with 10 plus years of experience diversified across various industry verticals like oil and gas, construction, retail. He's also handled 15 plus VAT projects in KSA and UAE. I have the third speaker, Ms. Meghla, the Associate Practice Lead of SAP Logistics Buy-Side, 10 plus years of experience in SAP consulting, and also with 5 plus implementations and multiple support projects as well. She also has handled 10 plus VAT projects in KSA. And I have the fourth speaker, who's Shubhangi, working with Car Technologies for the last 4 years, and she's an expert in sales and distribution as well as the service modules. She's also completed 2 end-to-end implementations. She's also now actively contributing to the KSA VAT and Oman VAT implementation projects. She's also been part of 2 support projects, and she's also been supporting customers across various diversified industry verticals. So the stage is all yours, Mahesh. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I thank each and every delegates, CIO, IT managers, and CFOs who are participating from various organizations for this invite. Um, See, this is the first time in Oman, CAR is conducting a webinar for VAT particularly. Hope we'll have a couple of webinars before April. Just I want to give a small introduction because there are participants are joining now. We need to give at least 5 minutes time for them. So just I give an introduction about CAR, and I'll leave the forum to the speakers for present or clarification or information on the VAT in Oman. So CAR started in 2006, which is 700 plus SAP consultants. Most 70% are SAP certified consultants are operating, and we have completed approximately 2000 plus projects in across globe. In Middle East alone, our revenue mainly comes from Middle East, particularly on Qatar, Oman, UAE, Bahrain, and KSA. We are focused on this geography, and our delivery center operates on the timing of UAE, UAE and Oman timings, that is Sunday to Thursday. So we have across globe, we have locations, offices, as well as we have approximately a SAP delivery team of around 250 to 400 in India office. Others are deployed in multiple places. Apart from this, CAR is concentrating on the KTurn and K-Cloud and KEPS 3 product. KTurn is an SAP S4HANA conversion come project management tool, which is strongly presenting in UK and US market. It is an SAP certified product. Soon it will enter into Oman market also. Already we are talking with a couple of customers for the KTurn project SAP conversion as well as SAP implementation with KTurn tool. It's a tool where you can do implementation as well as S4HANA conversion also. This is the first point. And another one is K-Cloud. We have our own cloud where we can host any SAP S4HANA servers or instance, anything from the K-Cloud. Another product is the KEPS. It's a complete project management ERP, which is an in-house ERP. Soon it will come in a SaaS model. So just I have given an introduction about CAR. Next slide, please. And CAR won multiple quality awards in multiple from SAP. These are the few awards what we have bagged from SAP in the last few years. Particularly, I think being region specific, Oasis Water and Ara Petroleum are the few quality award for implementation of S4HANA. Can you go to the next slide? Okay. This is our portfolio, few customers where we have completed our VAT project in UAE as well as KSA. These are the few customer logos. We successfully completed the VAT, and these already we have done so many VAT projects in these two regions. And in the Oman is in a third country, which we are entering with the VAT portfolio. So if these are the few customers where you can ask our reference also. Okay. Coming to VAT in Oman, we are, as a CAR Technology, as a company, we are very strong how to do implementation as well as what is the statutory requirements for VAT in Oman. If any business level, any particular part you won't have any questions, then we can discuss in a later part. But here the speakers will give an overview as well as they can show you some sample reports, how VAT report looks, and how they are actually the tax codes are determined here. So in between, if you have any questions, you can put it in your Q&A box. In the lower end, you can see there's a chat, like a chat box, there is a Q&A. Even if you put it in the chat box also, we'll answer. But the final, after finishing each and every speaker, we'll give at least 1 or 2 minutes to ask some questions. You can put it in the chat box. Myself, I or Anand Krishnan from marketing will ask the questions in the forum, then the speakers will answer it. So hope I set the stage clear. Now I'll ask Meghala from the buy side to take the, please Meghala from your side.
Yeah, thank you, Magesh. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, okay. Let us have a quick overview about the Oman VAT. As you all know, Oman is likely to introduce VAT effective from April 2021 at the standard rate of 5%. And you also know Oman could be the 4th GCC member to adopt VAT, followed by KSA, UAE, and the Bahrain. Next. Okay, these are all the 5 key areas for the VAT readiness which the customer has to be aware of. Before any VAT implementation or doing the VAT implementation, these are the 5 key areas where any customer, existing ECC customer should be aware of. The 5 areas are: the first could be the VAT treatment of the sales and procurement. So there will be a VAT impact in the procurement cycle and also in the sales cycle, which has to be known. Example, when you are procuring any material during the purchase order creation, there will be a tax code which has to be inputted during the creation. Similarly, in the sales order, there will be an impact. So which has to be known. And the second could be the contracts and the pricing related impacts. Example, there could be additional condition types in place to capture the VAT calculations in the pricing, and also in the contracts we need to know what are the contracts to be considered for VAT, what are the contracts to be not considered for VAT, which could be the cutoff date will be provided by the government. With that, we need to be aware what are the contracts which in line falls for the VAT consideration, which has to be known. And the third could be the accounting systems. Okay, here the additional VAT related accounting entries will be coming into place. That could be the third one. And the fourth could be the invoicing, which is of course the legal requirement for any sales invoice. There will be the VAT related details could be the mandatory. Similarly, if you have any invoice received from the vendor, the respective vendor has to provide you the invoice with the VAT related details. This invoice form should also consider the VAT details. That printout form changes should be also been taken place during the VAT implementation. And the fifth could be the VAT return form. So if you are filing the VAT to the government, in the system, we have to be ready with the VAT return forms and also the purchase and sales register, which will help you to prepare this VAT return form. Next. Okay, coming to the VAT calculation, there are 2 categories for the VAT calculation. One will be the exempted supplies and the second will be the taxable supplies. Under taxable supplies, there are 2 rates. One is the 0 rate and the second could be the standard rate, that is nothing but 5%. Next. Okay, now we have a quick overview about the 0 rated supplies which falls under Oman VAT law. This is the reference from the Oman VAT law. So supplies that are like certain food products, specified medicines, medical equipments, and some supplies of gold, silver, platinum, and some other like oil derivatives, natural gas. All the mentioned following supplies falls under 0 category. These are from the Oman VAT law. Next. And there are some set of services which are exempted from the VAT. Those could be the financial services, healthcare services, educational, resale of residential properties, rental of properties, local passenger transport. All the services are mentioned as an exempted category, so which doesn't come under VAT impact. And other than the sections which are mentioned under 0 rating and the exemption, remaining all the supplies of goods and services which will fall under the VAT with the standard rate of 5%. Next. Okay, now coming to the systematic view. Okay, once the VAT is implemented in the system, the following input tax codes will be reflecting in the system. These are the standard tax codes provided by the SAP to handle the VAT. These tax codes are further segregated into 3 categories like standard, exempted, and 0 rated. Okay, coming to standard. Under standard, we have 4 set of tax codes, that is V2, V4, VX and VY. Okay, V2 and V4 is exclusively to handle the domestic procurements. V2 is for the domestic goods procurement and V4 is for the domestic service procurements, which handle 5%. And coming to the VX and VY, it is exclusively for the import procurement. Especially VX is called reverse charge. Anything which you procure within GCC, it will be a goods or service which calls for the 5% reverse charge. During procurement, in the purchase order, the respective tax code has to be chosen. Similarly, for VY, it is for the any procurement outside GCC, which is calls for VY. It has to be chosen. Then coming to exempted, any procuring material comes under exempted category, then the V0 tax code has to be applied. And then the 0 rated. For 0 rated, for any domestic procurements, which is called V1 and V3, for goods and services, the 0 rated tax code has to be chosen. The tax code has to be chosen in the purchase order and the same will be reflected in the invoice. There is also other option. You can directly do the tax code selection in the invoice if required. Now over to the output tax, Shubhangi.
Yes. Moving on to the output tax codes, which SAP has provided as a part of standard. These are the tax codes which is being flashed on the screen are the standard output tax codes. So these tax codes will be applied in any sales transactions. From the sales order itself, the tax codes will be visible. The tax codes will be visible. And during the invoicing, these tax codes will go in line with the accounting entries which are posted to the financial entries. As discussed earlier about the input tax codes, in the output tax codes as well, we have the three categories, the standard, the exempted ones, and the zero rated tax codes. The standard tax codes are S2 and S4. These are for the standard rate of 5% domestic supply of both goods and services. So this differentiation is just for the identification purpose for the reporting and analysis. The exempted tax code is S0. So for any sales transaction, any invoices that are posted into the system for the exempted goods or the services will have the S0 tax code in line. The zero rated tax codes are 6. So this categorization is for better analysis. So for by the end of the day or by the end of the week, if you want to filter out all the domestic services supplies which had happened for zero rated, these tax codes will be really helpful for analyzing the accounting entries which are posted into the system. So for the domestic supply of goods, S1 applies at a zero rated tax. Similarly, for the service supplies at zero rate, S3 tax code will apply. For the export within the GCC countries, S5 and S6 will apply. These are zero rated tax codes for goods and services respectively. For the supply of goods or services outside the GCC country, S7 and S8 would apply. So again, these are zero rated tax codes for goods and services respectively. Next. The accounting entries in the logistics procurement will happen as shown as being flashed. For the VAT at zero rated and for the VAT exempted procurement, the accounting entries will not have any deviation. I mean, it will not change. The GRIR account will be debited and the vendor account will be credited. But in addition to this, the accounting entry line will have the VAT tax codes. In addition to the accounting entries for the identification purpose. For any procurement happening at the rate of 5%, VAT will have the GRIR account debited with the VAT receivable debited and the vendor account will be credited. So this will also have the tax code attached to the accounting entry for analyzing and identification purpose. So on the screen, you see the accounting entries which are posted for logistics sales. So for the standard rate of 5% sales that are happening into the system, you will have for the customer account debited and the revenue account will be credited with the VAT payable accounts. So this will also pick the respective SAP VAT tax code in the accounting entry. For the VAT at zero rate and for the VAT exemption, the accounting entries, the debit and credit entry will remain as it is, but it will pick the respective tax code in the accounting entry for, again, for the reporting purpose. So we saw the list of tax codes in the previous slides, right? So for the, based upon the different transactions or based upon the different sales transactions happening, the different tax codes will be picked up with the accounting entries that are posted into the system with each customer invoice. So what are the impacts in the SAP system after when we go live with VAT is, as we all know that we have the VAT registration number. So all the vendors and all the customer master data that is lying inside the SAP system will have to be uploaded with the VAT registration number, which is a band-aid, because we would want to see the VAT registration number against all the vendors and all the customers in all the existing reports or in any new report or in any output form which is taken from the system should have the VAT registration number. So for that purpose, we will collect all the VAT registration numbers and upload them into the system in the master data. The customer address and the customer details like the name, description, the contact details and everything should also be uploaded in Arabic because the invoice which is issued from the system should have the customer related details bilingual. That is, existing, we might have the information in English, but going forth, we will have to have the information in Arabic as well. The next one is the tax classification indicator, which has to be set up in the customer and in the material master. So what is tax classification indicator is we will have three different indicators to identify if a material is exempted material, or if it is zero rated VAT applicable material, or if this material has to be applied with a standard 5%. Similarly, for the customer master also, we will have to differentiate, and we will have to upload this tax classification indicator into the system, so that any transactions that are done will pick up the tax codes, will pick up the appropriate tax codes. Following that, we will have to maintain the output condition records into the system. So the condition records will be maintained based upon maybe the place of supply, or based upon the combination of the tax classification indicator, which is set up with the customer and the material combination. So this condition record will define which tax code each transaction should pick up into this while creating the sales order, or while creating the invoices. The next one is enabling the tax category in all the GL masters. So we, with all the set of GL masters that are lying inside the system, we will have to do an upload of the tax category enablement, so that the GL, while being posted into the accounting entry, will have the provision to include the tax code with it. So the tax code should be included in the PO printout forms as well, and also the form should have the total value exclusive of tax and inclusive of tax. And as already said, the customer invoice form should be made bilingual with all the mandatory information that are to be available in the sale invoice transactions. So with the implementation of VAT, we will definitely have the requirements of different reports and forms from the SAP system to aid better analysis, and for aiding better classification of the transactions which are posted into the system. So apart from the standard reports which SAP has provided, CAR will intend to develop two custom reports for the benefit of the users to identify the transactions which are done. First one is the purchase VAT register, which will have all the invoice verification documents with the details of the vendor, the vendor's VAT registration number, the company code, the invoice date, and also with the invoice amount with VAT and without VAT. And each of these invoices will have the tax code as well, so that we can periodically extract this report based upon the tax category, or based upon the tax code, or based upon the vendor. We can bifurcate and do the analysis. Similarly, like the VAT registration report for the purchase, we have the VAT registration report for the output VAT register as well. So this will have the customer invoice document with the sales order, the quotation which is associated with it, the document type, the customer name, and also the the value with VAT, without VAT, as we saw in the purchase VAT register report. We have all these details in the output VAT report also. So this report can also be pulled out on a daily basis or on a weekly basis to do the analysis of the transactions which are posted into the system, and for which tax code that this transaction has been accounted can be easily visible here. So this is a sample invoice which was provided when we implemented VAT for the KSA. This is a sample which is provided by the government. So as you can see here, you will have all the details in English and in Arabic, which is a mandate. You will have the total value excluding VAT, the total VAT which is applied for each invoice, and it will have the VAT, and it will have the total with the VAT amount also. So there are some required informations which ought to be available in the customer invoice as a mandate. That is the date of invoice issue, the supplier tax identification code, the customer and the customer name and the address bilingually, the taxable amount at a unit. For each line item also you will have the tax amount. So all these details are mandates. So we will have to rework on the invoices which are being issued from the system to the customer. So Mr. Dana will take over from here.
Yeah.
Please.
Thanks, Shubhangi.
Thank you.
Shubhangi,
Okay.
Dana, before that, there is one question from Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim. The question states that is customer address and details upload to SAP in Arabic, is it a mandatory? I think this question to Shubhangi.
Mr. Ahmed. So this was a mandate because while we implemented the VAT for VAT tax for the KSA government, because it was a mandate that in the output form the address should be available in Arabic as well. Please, can you please move to the previous slide? So as we can see here, the address, the name of the customer and the address detail should be available both in English and in Arabic. So we had to upload all the address details in Arabic into the system.
And one more question to Meghala from Sujit Bhomik. Is 5% VAT applicable for oil and gas service companies?
Yeah. Okay. So this, as per Oman law, for oil and gas, as per my understanding, it is 0% VAT. So we need to cross check the law.
Okay. Hope Mr. Sujit and Mr. Ahmad, you got the answer. Even if it is not, you just will reply back with an email to you from my mail ID or from my salesperson mail ID to you. Thanks. I think Dana, you can take it forward.
Thank you, Magesh. Okay, the screen which you are seeing in the display is that the tax return form. If you see in the right hand side, you will be able to see the sales tax as well as the input tax. Again, in the output tax, we can have all the segregation, the VAT rate within GCC, zero VAT or export or exempted, as well as the total sales. So this is the sample the VAT return form for KSA. The similar kind of form is available for UAE as well. And in the left hand side, if you see, you can see the total VAT tax base amount as well as what is the total VAT amount. And if there is any adjustment for the previous period, that also has to be specified here. And this particular form, as part of deliverable, we are going to deliver this particular form as well. Yeah, next slide, please. And these are all the standard reports which is available already in the system, which we can use to analyze the taxes, be it input tax or be it the output tax, or you will be able to analyze the tax maybe only for zero tax or the exempted. So all these kind of analysis we will be able to do by using the standard reports. The previous two custom reports is the drill down one. In a single report, you will have all the details. Yeah, next slide. And okay, once the VAT come into picture, there will be some transactional issue. Say for example, this down payments or imports or this reverse charge mechanism, or how the VAT is going to be for the intercompany invoicing as well as the contract. We will discuss one by one. Okay, in case of down payment, okay, assume that the VAT is going to be implemented maybe 16th April 2021. So if the down payment has been posted before 16th April, then there will not be any VAT. Okay, here the we have to decide whether that particular transaction is being subjected to VAT or not, based on the VAT invoice date or the down payment posting date. So based on these two dates only, if these two dates falls before the key date, then there is no VAT. If these two dates falls after the key date, then for the down payments, yeah, we have to calculate the VAT and it has to be posted in the system. And the next one is that the imports. Okay, in case if we are importing the goods from outside GCC, those particular transaction will subject to standard VAT rate of 5%. Okay, till till now there will be a material vendor, there will be a freight vendor, and along with that we will pay the custom duties to the customs. But going forward, along with these three, we are going to pay VAT also. And maybe well, to calculate the VAT, the customs will assess the material, and the customs will give you the accessible value. So when we post the invoice in system, in Miro screen, we have to have provision to enter this accessible value. This accessible value is nothing but the tax base amount. By applying couple of notes, this particular field will be enabled in the Miro screen. And okay, by seeing the VAT invoice, we will be able to enter the accessible value, and the VAT also can be calculated and posted in the system. And the next one is the reverse charge mechanism. So all kind of services which we are receiving it from outside Oman is falls under this reverse charge mechanism, as well as all kind of goods which we are importing within GCC is falls under this reverse charge mechanism. Okay, so going forward, we do have a dedicated reverse charge mechanism tax code. So while posting or while creating the transaction, we have to choose the respective tax codes so that the reverse charge, I mean the VAT entries will get posted accordingly. And the next one is this intercompany invoicing. Okay, in SAP, when you create this intercompany invoicing, the VAT always will get posted in the first entity only. And we do have a special program to transfer this VAT to the second entity. This program can be executed on daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis or whenever required. And also we do have a selection a filter over there. You can run this program only for a specific intercompany documents, or you can run it on a whole. So intercompany invoicing, the VAT impact also will be covered within SAP in the standard program itself. And the next point is that the contract.
Sorry to interrupt. There's a question from Shabia B. Sheikh. What is the meaning of reverse charge mechanism? When actually we use this?
Okay, okay. Okay, in case of services, okay, assume that we are importing service from outside Oman or outside the GCC. So it is not required to, I mean, the supplier will not be registered under Oman VAT law. So in that case, we have to calculate this reverse. We have to calculate this VAT standard rate for this particular transaction, and the same has to be posted. At last you will not have any financial impact, but it is for the information purpose only. While posting the invoice itself, we will record both the input tax as well as the output tax.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And okay. Now we are in the contracts. Okay. According to the UAE law, all the contracts which has been created before the key date is falls under the silent contract. For those contracts, there will not be any VAT, even though if you are raising the invoice after the key date. But the contract which has been created, I mean the new contract which has been created after the key date, the standard VAT rate will be applicable. And recently, because of this COVID in KSA, the tax rate has been changed from 5% to 15%. So for those particular law alone, the key date was there is the 11th May 2020. The contract which has been created before 11th May, which falls under 5% category, and the contracts which has been created after 11th May falls under the 15% category. And also the invoices which has been created. Okay, the invoices which has been created after the key date, but the contract creation date is before the key date. So before key date, that is nothing but the 11th May of 2020. So for those invoice also, there will not be any VAT. So similar kind of the mechanism can be expected from the Oman government as well. Okay, and I think myself have covered it. Magesh, hello.
Okay. Am I audible now? Yes, okay. Um, Dhanashekhar, there is a question for you.
Yes, Magesh.
That is, there is a two question from Kabel. The first question is, RCM only kick in for services for import, or would it also extend to goods? What is asking? You said that RCM, right? Reverse.
Yes, correct, exactly.
I think you can go one slide back, 24 PPT. Yeah, he's asking, is it only for the service or it is for additional also? That is, it's for goods also. The question from
Okay.
RCM is only kick in for services or for import services or for goods also. That is the question from Kapil. I think, hope I asked the right question to you.
Yes, yes, Magesh. Let me clarify this. Okay, in case of service import, yeah, for all kind of service import, which falls under RCM.
Okay.
But according to KSA law, the goods which is being imported within GCC is falls under RCM.
Okay, but
Quite
according
clear.
to Oman, any particular message for goods still?
No, no, no. We yet to receive the detailed information about this.
Okay, Mr. Kapil, see, as of now, the information is limited on the goods part. We'll inform you once we came to know or in the time of implementation. And there is one more question from Mr. Kapil. Why we are codifying taxes in, no, there's one more question. Why we are codifying except taxes? I mean, tax exception, I think. Is it to ensure trial balance reconciliation only? I think there are two people need to answer why we are codifying tax exception. Maybe Shubhanki and Dhanashekhar can answer. And is it just to ensure trial balance reconciliation? The question for Dhanashekhar.
Okay, see, in all countries, wherever the VAT has been implemented, the exempted is also will be there. Yeah, it is maybe for the registration purpose as well. Okay, for the exempted,
Okay.
we will have we need to understand the volume of the business which we are doing. So based on the volume, whether a supplier can have the VAT registration, or they can the supplier can be exempted from the VAT. So it is purely for the registration purpose.
Okay. And there is one more question from Mr. Sujit. Is 5% applicable for gas and service company? The slide shows only mention exception for oil and derivative companies. We are a service company and not directly dealing with crude oil production. This is also from Sujit Bhumik. See, what
Yes.
is trying to ask us, in the slide you show 5% VAT is applicable for gas service, oil and gas service company, and particularly on the exception for oil and derivative companies. When it comes to a service company, they're not direct dealing with crude oil. That is like maybe in a field service company. So what is asking? What is their tax? Sujit, I think this question, to be very specific, we need to ask. It looks like in a business side, we need to look into your business very particularly, and two, maybe we need to you have to take a call with your auditors also. But if we come to know, we'll inform you. Meghala, if you have any answer for this, oil and or derivative companies.
No, the slide which we shown, it is comes under zero rating as per law.
Okay.
So
So
we
he's
need to
asking, we are doing a service, we are a service company, not directly dealing with the crude or oil production. See, it means there may be a subcontract or something they are doing. So what is asking, oil and derivative companies means they can get an exception or not.
Yeah,
I
this point,
hope
as
that's the right
you said,
question from Sujit.
yeah, we have to check with the audit team, Mahesh,
Okay.
because this
And the
category
next
where it falls
question
under zero
from,
rating.
okay, the next question from Kapil. If it is tax exception, why we need to capture in VAT?
No, the exception category taxes are
Okay, Kapil, I'll explain you in SAP whether you are liable for tax or exception. What is the percentage of tax in the? It need to be segmented. So whether you pay 0% tax or exception need to be clarified. See, suppose a material is there, if it has 0% tax, it has to be mentioned there is a 0% tax. If it is 5% tax, yes, it is a 5% tax. No, this particular material is exception means we have to segregate because there are same material. If you do sale from a special economic zone, have some exception. So in some other countries, so SAP clearly segment you whether it's a 0% or 5% or exception. So that same product, if you sell it from some other place, you may pay a tax. Some places you may exception, or some generic product they may give exception, like maybe some basic needs they may give an exception, but it will be segmented in SAP. It is very clearly segment which are the it's a tax exception bill or 0% bill or 5% bill.
Let me clarify here, Magesh. Okay, so if you are selling only the exempted goods, okay, in that case you are not required to register under VAT law. So that's what the exempted is purely for the registration only.
Okay, I think that's a question from
Mr. Kapil.
Kapil, right? Yeah. Okay, I hope, sir. Otherwise, Prakash will note it down and discuss with Kapil for further points. Okay. Okay, you can move to the next PPT. Okay, coming to implementation roadmap and activities for this VAT implementation for any particular legal entity with an approximately 5 to 6 modules. Majorly, this VAT covers FISDMM only. We on the assumption that it's in a single entity, approximately 100 200 users with a normal size. What are the plan? How it will be taken? What is the time taken? See, the implementation methodology will be goes in a impact assessment. First, we will see what are the forms, reports, all those things which is getting impacted. That is your say, invoices or your procurement side, purchase order, sales order. What are the forms? Your printout forms will get impacted out of this VAT. What are the forms need to be changed? Then your the solution design, your reports and your solution design will be get designed by our team. Later part in the realization, it will be solve all those things with the UAT and final preparation and go live with the cutoff date. I can go to the next PPT. This PPT shows it's actually as of now we are having in a rapid plan for that 8 weeks plan. That is 2 months. We'll complete the project and will come out for a normal one entity within a 5 or 6 modules within a very minimum development. What I'm saying. So it will goes in activity wise. It's all well planned. We have done this type of projects for more than 30-40 accounts and it was successful. So it will go in a requirement analysis and we'll discuss with the process impacting on VAT and financing the BPML on the FI, SG, only 3 modules. And what are the changes in the reports and forms and what are the new reports by statutory reporting. Definitely each and every country has. Already we have done it for UAE and KSA. So we'll come to know what are the statutory requirement, how the format they need. So we'll make a reporting for it. And we'll make sure that we'll draft the blueprint how it is. The finally internal discussions with SGMM financial related, what are the changes will come. We'll mostly discuss with these 3 modules. And after that, the blueprint will be confirmed. We'll discuss with the BPO also further how the process will get changed because your invoice everywhere, VAT, how, because it will impact your open sales order and open purchase order contracts where you are doing in a business without VAT and input VAT and output VAT. Now you'll have both the places VAT, how your contracts will be rechange or how it will impact in your system. That is whether you are going to pay additionally an additional taxes or inclusive of taxes, because it's purely depends upon the management and your team how you are having an agreement with the vendor and as well as with the customers. So according to that, that will be designed, and it will take a complete of 8 weeks program for a normal operated organization. If it is in a 10 or 20 legal entities, or if you are having multiple invoices format, sales order printout format. See, some places they may do in a sales in a huge volume. So that will depends upon the individual companies. Can you go to the next slide? So these are the next, this second month, that is in a 5th to 8th week. What are the things, how the reports, forms or corrections, how it will tested with the business process owners. And after that, what are the trainings, the basic trainings we need, we'll be giving. It's all from the offshore execution. Mostly it will be conducted in the Zoom meeting. This is the actual plan. Due to this pandemic, a lot of travel restrictions are there. If in case, if the customer wants, we'll come on site. Otherwise, we are mostly operating from the remote location itself. And it is, as of now, even many companies, people are not, except the manufacturing companies, people are not on office now. So as of now, we have planned it for a 2 weeks rapid deployment solution. So this VAT implementation will take 2 months time. We'll start with your impact of your reports, as well as open order, open sales order, all those things. Then we'll change your sales order, purchase order, invoices, then statutory requirement reporting, and how to do all the reconciliation. And the cutoff date will help you how to move to the new VAT and adopt to the new VAT. So I hope pretty much we are covered from it. Hopefully, we may conduct one more webinar for this, for the other users, because many users are not able to register now, or even register, they said that they don't have time or a lot of exception. So we may run one more webinar in another 10-15 days for Oman region alone. And if you have any questions, I think you can post now. It is a session open forum. You can ask any questions. Whatever the questions we are ready to answer, we'll answer now itself and clarify you. Otherwise, we'll take it and separately email to you. You can post your questions. See, there is a question from Mustafa. Having tax code is for reporting purpose or not for financial purpose? He's asking whether the tax code is for reporting purpose or for financial purpose. Shubhanki, can you answer, or Meghala, why you are having so many tax codes? Is it for reporting or financial purpose?
See, the tax codes are standard tax codes as per law. So all the tax code, whether it is zero, exempted or standard, we have to be recorded during procurement and sales cycle. So it is for reporting.
Okay. There's one question, Kapil, he's asking, can you able to unmute? I don't know whether the marketing team will allow. Can we unmute, Kapil? Okay. Can you unmute Kapil, please? Kapil, you are unmuted. You can ask question
perfect.
Now.
Thanks a lot. Am I audible to you?
Yes. Kapil, can you explain where you are from, which organization?
I am from Maersk, AP Moller Maersk.
Okay.
I am the global process owner for taxation. So I just had a question. I actually had two questions around this. One was around exemption. So one is standard rated, the other is zero rated. Both of them, of course, have their need to have a tax codification done. So that's absolutely understandable. What I'm trying to understand is, to the point which you mentioned earlier, for the ones where we are exempt, right? Exemption would only call for a tax code if we are trying to do some sort of a reconciliation, to my knowledge, basis the global implementations I've done. So I'm just trying to understand, is it something which has been stipulated by the law, or what exactly is it that we need an exemption to be driven for? So that's one. And the other part is on ICP, intercompany posting. You mentioned that intercompany posting essentially is a posting between two sister concerns, right? So it could be within sister concerns or it could be between two entities. So I understood that when we are talking about posting in first entity, there is a program which is being run wherein this gets transferred to the other entity. Why would this transfer be needed in the first place is what I would need to understand. If you could just help understand this bit, that would really be appreciated.
Okay. I'll come to your point, Mr. Kapil. Thanks for your question. I think we can unmute Kapil. Mute Kapil. See the answer first. The exception. Yes, it is from SAP side for segmenting. These are the sales, which is exception from tax. So they want to determine via a tax code. It is in a procedure from the SAP side, from procurement or sales. They want to determine this sales will not come under 0% or 5%. So they need a tax code to determine this, very technically speaking. Whether even if it is a statutory or not, but it is need to do the exceptions. This is for your first question. The next question you asked is then an intercompany transaction. Okay, regarding with the intercompany transaction, it depends upon how you are doing the transfer. Whether if you are doing an invoice and you are transferring to another legal entity, definitely it is liable for tax as of now with our knowledge. If the goods are just posted and transferred to some other place to place, definitely if you are no legal note, that is you are not invoicing, there will not be any tax as of now. So I need to understand further detail on this. Maybe you can email us caroman@cartech.com so that we'll respond you back on your detailed explanation, Kapil. Okay. I think we can move to some other people. Maybe for your Kapil, for your exception for tax exceptions, we may need to show for a statutory requirement also. These are the goods what we got exception. So that's the one reason. There is one more question from Shab. Whether you will get this webinar marketing team. Yeah, this will be, you'll get the webinar link as a video file to you, Mr. Shabiga Sheikh. So it's for information purpose. You can use it. We cannot do it for further any other thing. What else? Any other question? Anil Kumar. There is a question from Anil Kumar. If we issue a PO, I think it's a PO, LPO to any one of our vendor for January 2021 to December 2021 for providing tax, will it attract VAT? The question to Meghala.
Yes, oh my gosh, thanks. Yeah, Anil, if the PO is raised in January, as you know, there is no VAT. If it is raised after the VAT implemented period, that is after April, then it calls for a VAT. And also it mainly when you do the invoice, if your invoice's date is before April, there is no VAT. If it is April, it calls for VAT.
Okay. There is an anonymous attendee. There is one more question. When Oman VAT patch will be released from SAP? Is it patches available or we need to check SAP? Dana, can you answer for this? Is that VAT patch is already released or we are waiting for?
No, Mahesh. Actually, SAP has released a couple of notes. The first note is to update this VAT registration number in company, I mean the legal entity as well as the customer and vendor master. To enable the VAT registration field, SAP has released one special note. As well as, SAP has released another note to bring all these tax codes, which we have shown. So SAP has released a couple of notes already for women.
For the anonymous attendee, I think someone from the, yes, there's a notice there. But if you want in detail, you can email us. Yes, there are a couple of notes already available. And there is a question from Shabika. Purchase order is before key date and invoices after the key date, VAT is applicable. I think I want to answer anyone from the consultant.
Yeah, if the purchase order, if you're creating before April, obviously there will not be any tax code. But if you are doing invoice after the implemented period, then you may, since you have to consider the law cutoff date also here. If it, as per law, if it is inclusive of VAT, then you have to input that tax code in the invoice alone. So it may be applicable.
Yes. Shall we go? Yes, it will be applicable. All the open purchase order, that is the purchase order which is not delivered, will be taken into account. The invoice after the key date, that is maybe like April 15th, if you are creating an invoice for the same purchase order, it will come with an VAT if it is applicable. I hope I answered your question. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I hope any other points or anything else. It's okay. If you have any questions or any clarification, feel free to contact us, karoman@kartech.com. I hope already we have shared it. KAROMAN Oman at kartech.com. So you can email us, we'll explain you. And for all the attendees, the link will be provided. The video will be available for you to anytime you can watch. Thanks for the informative session from Sujit. Thank you, Sujit. Thank you. Thanks for all the attendees. Any questions you can raise, or can we wait for another 2 minutes? We can give 2 minutes. It's exactly 1 hour we have planned. So there are 4 minutes time is there. If you have any questions, you can put it, post it in there. Yes. So Kash Gupta, thanks. Thanks. Thanks, Sanjay. Okay, hope we have clarified. There's not much of questions. Okay. Thanks for all the attendees. We once again we thank everyone. You can contact us anytime. There is a mobile number, everything. There will be from our marketing team. They will share all the link to you. You can email us or call us at any time. One question from. Can you explain VAT treatment for discounts and promotion support to customers? I think Shubhanki, if there is how you treat VAT for discounts and promotions.
VAT for the customers will be applied on the value after discounts and promotions. So accordingly, the VAT condition types will be configured in our pricing procedures, Mr. Amit.
Okay, I think Mr. Amit Pandit and it's answered your questions. This is the reason they bring the tax code in your pricing procedure, where you can see that if there is a discounts or something else after the discounts, whatever the amount, the VAT will be applicable. If you have any other. I think separate debit notes, credit notes to be issued with VAT. So I think the question from Amit Pandit. Amit, the first question what you ask is if there is some discounts, will it the VAT applicable? When the pricing procedure calculates, it will calculate in the way without VAT for the discounts. For example, if you are billing for 1,000 Omani Riyal, 50 Omani Riyal is and 100 Omani Riyal is in a discount, then for 900 Omani Riyal, the VAT will be applicable. Such a way it will be configured. You have asked another question, separate debit note, credit note to be issued with VAT. This point I'm not able to understand. If the debit note, credit note If you are issuing after the key date, if it is with VAT, yes, there will be VAT will be applicable. If you very specific on this question, I can go in detail, Mr. Amit. Okay. I think we have answered the question, Amit. I think Amit sent in a couple of questions, but hope we answered. Otherwise, Amit, you can email us. I think exactly we are on closing time, 10:59. Okay. Thanks for all the participants, as well as thanks for all the speakers. Any clarification, please email us, as well as the webinar link will be. Thank you. And one more webinar will be conducted in the maybe first week or second week, 11th of January. We'll conduct one more webinar. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.